I like the Wayne's World one better. Hi, welcome to The Ascertainers, episode 8. Yet unnamed episode. I am Mark. All right, this is going well. I am Jim. My podcast partner is Mark.
Hello.
Yeah, that's him. Proof. Anyhow, the who, what, why, where, the Ascertainers. If you're just joining us for the first time, we are two sexy cats from Minnesota. We are pushing 60 years old each. We are both married to girls, women. We both have 2 kids. They're 4 total. And that's the who. The what is it's a little podcast where we sit around and have a couple cocktails and just opine on mostly just music and, a little current events, a little neighborhood chit-chat, stuff like that. And the why, I don't know, because we bought this stuff and we kind of feel like we have to at this point. But no, we want to, try to set a positive example for how to, just have a conversation and disagree without, just going off on one another and canceling each other and stuff. So, and then the where is whatever you're listening to us now, the where. So that gets us right into the this week's the radio game.
Oh yeah, I mentioned the lead-in music.
Oh yeah, Getaway Car was the band that gave us that music. Very nice of them. They are a Swedish Indo-Chinese Baptist Reformer band.
Wow.
Yeah, they're top of the chart in that one, in that category. They do really well. Mostly uncontested, but either
Can I
way,
mention one more thing?
You may.
I push back 60.
What does that mean?
I'm 60 now.
Oh, you are 60?
I am.
When did you turn 60?
This week.
Oh,
At my birthday party.
Did you get my card?
And your present?
Oh, I heard a lot of music coming from up that way. I guess that was... I left your present at Target. You go ahead and pick it out and bring me the receipt.
Which walker is it?
I got you a skateboard, dude. A skateboard, and I got just the hill for you.
You want to kill me.
You are son of a biscuit. I got to change the intro then. So anyway, but let's talk about the... so we have this game that we're trying to make totally famous, and it is where we have an album-oriented rock station in our market called KQRS. I don't know what their claim to fame is. I forget what any of their claims to fame were, but they play some pretty good music, but they've been playing the same stuff forever. So what we do is we each pick 3 bands, and then we will, at a certain point after we get done saying those bands, I'll pick up the headphones and listen to see what's being played. And if one of us gets it right, I don't know what'll happen because it's never happened in 2 tries. This will be try number 3, actually 3.5. But anyhow, but I should because he has 3 bands picked, I should talk about the fact that we have our first guest on the Ascertainers. The Ascertainers are now branching out, and it's my next door neighbor. So I'm surrounded by my next door neighbors here. Mark was my former next door neighbor, and Jason, who we will try to call JT, so I don't say his last name. Don't say it. Anyway, I feel like I'm going to say it. Anyway, JT has joined us. He is the one that actually has been listening and giving us some pointers and feedback, so we appreciate that. And we're excited to have him on. We will rake him over the coals later. But for now, we're going to say so he got the first draft pick on the radio game. He picked Tom Petty. I'll just give his. We'll do it by person. He picked Tom Petty, Led Zeppelin, and then we asked each participant to give kind of like a one hitter, or like not a Beatles, you know what I mean, like a more of an obscure band. And his obscure band was Golden Earring, and I really like that one. I think that's a smart pick. Mark picked Leonard Skinner. And I said one hit wonder, and he gave me 2. and they are literally Red Rider, Lunatic Fringe.
You hear that one probably once a week.
It's true,
on
and it's
KQ.
it's a monster. Your one hitters are really good, and then Aldo Nova. Life is just a fantasy. Something fantasy.
Life is
Yeah,
just a fantasy.
yes. I think he played a flying V too. We talked about that a little bit before. I went.
Did
with
you know his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Nova, or no?
Nova? It's Dr. Nova.
He went on to school.
I think his sister's Melanova. No. Fuck it. Who's going to hell? Who's got skin cancer? I guess me now, since I joked about it. And then I went with some just shitbag bands. I went with Jay Giles. My obscure. Jay Giles wasn't my obscure, by the way. So Greg Kinn is my obscure. And then I went ahead and went with AC/DC. So
Did Greg Kinn play in another band, or was he just a solo?
I think he was a solo act. I mean, he had a band, but it's kind of like Rick Springfield.
Right, but I thought maybe he was in like nothing.
I don't think so. All I know is that I know his 2 albums. How do you say that again?
Album.
I just do it with one L. One of them was called Rock Kin Roll. Get it?
Ooh, oh,
And the other one was called Kinspiracy. Just smart rock songs. So you know that he's going to have such meaningful philosophical hits as Our Love's in Jeopardy,
Our Love's in Jeopardy,
baby. And then he had another song called The Breakup Song, which is actually a really good song. We had broken up for good just an hour ago. I'm not a big singer, but they just don't write them like that anymore. That's a great song. Taking off the earphones. You got to
Good,
talk.
because I was gonna blast you. I think that is such a stupid, silly.
I'll tell you
song.
right now, if Greg Kinn is on, I will risk getting sued by the Greg Kinn estate. I think he's still alive, but anyway. And I'll crank that bitch.
Well, we'll
so
kill
the
him
world
if
will
he-
know it. Have to kill him. You talk for a sec. I gotta
Okay.
get him
Jim
on him.
is putting on the headset, listening because he wants to really push this game.
Ah!
Oh, he's
1 week off. Hurt so good. John Mellencamp. Or John Cougar, I think at the time. So
can you get the headphones?
I got it. Yep. Keep talking.
So our neighbor is sitting in, Jason. We only have 3 headphones. Maybe we have to invest in more, but
Just
he's
because-
switching.
Because the game is it's a keeper. You
We had to plug the headphones into the hi-fi system.
You know what we need? We need a producer. We need a guy to run around and do that. Or a gal. Or a gal.
I guess I got fired from my producing job. But anyways,
No, a production assistant. Just like the person that gets at the U.S. Open that runs and grabs the errant tennis balls.
will they open our beers for us?
That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. It's like an internship. We need an intern. There's a bunch of little kids in the neighborhood. I'm not sure their folks will be crazy about them being in my basement.
You can't go up into my basement. It'll be all right.
They weren't the last time. I'll just say that. But no, anyhow.
Hey, when Mark lived here, he only had half a basement.
That's true. Oh, JT is
Jason, I turn his mic on,
JT
and he
comes
goes
from
for the
0 to 80 in like nothing. He's like Sammy Hagar over there with the Red Rocket or Red Rider. What do they call him?
Red Rocker.
Oh, Red Rider. Sorry, too soon.
That's going to be a
The Red Rocker. That's what Sammy Hagar was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mark you have a fully excavated basement now.
I do.
How's that?
And welcome, Jason.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for inviting me.
Sure.
JT. This is also he's been referred to as the tank top neighbor. He is right now adorned in a very tasteful and I would dare I say fashionable button down short sleeve shirt. What would you call that color?
Lavender.
Lavender? I was gonna say me.
Yeah, you were kind of fading away there. Sorry.
We'll get on it a little bit there. Yes, that's. I normally people tell me to speak up after I've had a couple of beers, so this is good. Anyhow, our guy Jay's here, and he is wearing flip flops though. So he's got them off now.
Yeah.
Did you see how I got the bullseye off of me?
Yeah.
But he was
segue.
He was the flip flopping weed whipper, and that's a. I think we can make that famous, like the naked. Like
I was the tank top wearing
the tank top flea flop, V flop.
The tank top wearing, flip flop wearing weed whipper. We could make him like the naked cowboy famous.
Don't say the wearing, just say the tank top, flip flop, weed whipper.
You got it there, Madison Avenue.
We don't even have to call him Jason anymore.
Yeah,
I think that it's gonna. By the time we are done with this, it'll have already hit the world and set the world on fire.
You know what? People are going to steal that, though. We should trademark. Trademark the Ascertainers.
Is that like, called it? Shotgun.
Oh, crap. I'm starting to think like you.
Oh, that's the... By the time that happens, it's way too late, man. You cannot. There is no antidote, as opposed to anecdote.
Yeah, it's been a rough week actually so far because I had to borrow Jim's mower.
Oh, we're gonna get right into the lawn.
So it actually started. Did you get first time for the year?
Oh, Jim's mower's fine. Mine's better, but mine's getting a few tweaks. And you know what? I mean, obviously, I have the best yard in the neighborhood.
Now,
well,
right, Jim? Jim's on my side.
You say that, but your former yard, was the size of a postage stamp. So how hard is that to maintain?
Yes, but it's not. It's the quality. Not the quantity.
I disagree. That thing,
you know what?
That shit was like 70s porn.
Yeah.
That was really long grass you had there. So you had.
But it makes it look better.
I think if you took all of your blades of grass end to end against Jason's end to end, it would be the same distance, even though he's got like 1.5 more times yard than you.
Right. And I had.
Yeah, and hey, I didn't have my mailman stop me and compliment me on my yard. But
yeah,
I think he felt bad for you because you had your trees are planted way too flipping close together in that front yard. I mean, that was ridiculous. They were 8 feet apart, and they were ash trees. I mean, who does that, honestly?
I can't think it every
You were the one who always used to call and say, "Hey, Mark, nice ash."
No, you had a nice ash, but it was in the backyard, not the front yard.
Oh.
I do not like where this is going because I know he's going to come after my one maple tree that has like 7 maple trees growing out of the trunk. But I still live here, so I hope he'll cut me a break.
No, those ash trees were on top of each other.
Did you plant those, or were they there before?
We didn't have a yard for, I don't know, the first 8 months that we lived there.
So that means you planted.
They were put in by the builder because I had to sue him to get my grass and driveway and trees in. And then one day I showed up off of a work deal.
Well, what'd you work? Were you a busboy or a dishwasher? What did you do? Your work is very cloaked in mystery.
I was at a radio station, as you can tell, but I was an on-air celebrity.
An intern?
Mark actually shared a career with my wife for a period of time, but we won't talk about that yet.
That's going to cause a lot of controversy.
Were there a lot of hotel rooms involved?
I hope not.
A lot of hotel rooms and...
But I come back, and there's 2 trees planted. And they didn't look too bad because they were small.
They were 6 feet apart.
Right. But, I mean, when they were that tiny... I thought, okay, I'm not going to have them come back because they already put the lawn in and sidewalk and driveway. Leave it. Then when they got large, they were like, it was just grew into one big tree with two trunks.
It kind of did.
Until the one started leaning towards the house.
You basically described my age 9 to 11, where it's like, it's small, I don't mind it. And then as I got older, it just got bigger and bigger and just unruly. And then I had it cut off.
No, yours was tiny, but you grew and it just stayed the same.
It's all relative.
I don't have tiny.
But anyway,
I don't have tiny whatever. I have just huge thighs. Okay, I see what you're going for here. Well, your yard didn't get bigger, but your trees did in this case.
Yeah, and what I will say is, I mean, trees are boring to talk about, but the new owners of your property cut both of those sumbitches down, and they're gone. So they have nothing in their front yard.
And they might be listeners. So
but I think that was a good call because it was ridiculous.
You could put one tree in there and save yourself the money instead of buying two trees into one.
I think they were dying or something, but
they were ash. They were probably the.
I'll say this. So I remember the Tate lawn mow. Shit. Okay, edit.
Oh my God.
You're getting great at editing, so I feel bad. I'm glad that I
this is actually our second take on this one, because we're.
Should we start over again?
No, but on the first one, Jim was dropping last names. The whole episode.
See, now that you
so now we're doing it again,
now
and he's
now that you said last name.
Well, we learned who Jim was after episode 2.
Right.
It's hard though because we all hang out and we call each other by our full names all the time, and I can see why this can happen.
It's very nice of you to cover for him, but Jim's an idiot.
Hey.
Are we still recording?
Jason, you look great behind that mic. We're going to start recording on Wednesdays. I'm not going to tell. Oh, he's right there. Anyway.
Okay, you were talking about mowing. Sorry.
Talking about mowing. I remember when you lived next door that you would make your kids split the lawn duties.
Yes.
And I knew exactly where half of your lawn was. I could go and I could put a stake in the ground because the way that your kids mowed was legendary. And I love your kids. Just, you know that. And they know that. I think they do.
Yeah.
But what an awesome little quirk that was. Because the mower would sit at that one spot for hours.
Till the next shift?
You'd see one kid mowing, and then the mower would just be right there. And then the other kid would finish up mowing. The yard did look good, I'm not going to lie. I think it probably grew while it was being mowed, because of the amount of time it took. But my youngest, when he would get on the my mower, which I think we probably guys want to comment on, it was a little loud. Let me finish.
No muffler.
But it's good for the grass. It likes to be shaken and vibrated really hard. But it would take him like 4 hours to mow because I think he had some serious ADD. He would go about 10 feet, run in, got a piss, go 10 more feet. Oh, hey, kind of thirsty. Oh, got a piss again. Anyway, so I can't say that your kids. It was an observation, not a degradation. Do we talk about Manifest Destiny yet?
No, but since we're talking about the trees, you can bring up the
same neighbor.
Yes, Mark is holding up a very weathered G.I. Joe, like a big. I mean, that thing's like what, a foot tall?
Yeah.
So
what's the ethnicity of that? Is that over time it turned that, or is that what it was?
No, that's a.
This is a G.I. Joe that doesn't look like the peach colored ones that we saw growing up, because we actually had a crayon called Flush.
Well, that dude's been in the sun for 20 years, so I can imagine how the sun has
the
done
uniform
what it does.
It's just torn up and
it's shredded.
So literally, I have to describe what we're talking.
Yeah.
So the people when Mark lived in the house right next to me, he had a G.I. Joe figurine. What do you call that? It's like a foot tall.
Actually, my kids had it. I did not.
Sure, Mark.
Oh.
Anyway, I asked your kids. They said what? Anyway, Mark made a parachute for it, and they chucked it up, and the wind caught it, and it got stuck in the top of their tree in the
Newly
backyard.
planted tree.
So when he sold his house, he had the presence of mind to say, "Oh, up in that tree, there's a G.I. Joe doll that we lost up there. It never came down, so it might hit you in the head one day or something." I don't know. Why'd you tell him that?
Well, we were looking out, and it was...
Oh, was it? There were no leaves on the tree?
There were no leaves on the tree, and I thought, might as well point that out,
That's funny.
that's been up there for, 18 years.
Well, just this week, they came over and said, "Oh, we have something for you." And I'm like, "Ooh, good. It better be cookies." And it's a G.I. Joe guy. And it said, "Your old neighbor told us that this would come out of the tree." So I think they think it's like the Chinese Year of the G.I. Joe or something. Where
It's nice that they remembered that. I actually pointed it out to them when I sold out.
And there you go. And now you have it. And that's when I told them that I go, "I'll see Mark this Friday because we do a podcast together." And then I might have said something about, Mark said he used to have a great lawn. They did not take very.
Have you told the oldest son or the youngest son yet that it came down?
He just
No,
found out tonight.
he just gave it to me tonight. So
Oh, that's great. They're gonna love that.
they are.
They're gonna love that.
It's a wonderful world that we live in. That we have nice people. I love having great neighbors. I'll tell you right now, you hit the lottery if you have neighbors that you like, and I can tell you on every.
I do now.
On every side of me.
Yeah, now that you left, you bastard.
On every side of me, I have people that I would take a bullet for, and that's great. I don't want to hang out with them all the time, especially with Jason, but no, especially with Audie across the street. And I think he might have heard it. 'Cause
That story,
he gave me
I almost pissed myself.
Oh, so you heard it? Okay.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I literally almost pissed myself when.
Me too.
I'm not sure. I feel like he's giving me the side eye. I've seen him a couple times since, and I'm like, so. I mean, it is what it is, and I mean, we didn't mean anything ill by it. And again, I think we spoke highly of him, but I think the takeaway is that sometimes you'll get into the more awkward the situation, the more memorable it is. So I will never forget that, and I can't say the same for when I met you. I don't know. Remember the first time I met you?
No, I don't even.
I know it was in the yard. Your wife remembers meeting me because apparently I gave her like a good salesman handshake. "Hi, I'm Jim."
Well, yeah.
I gave her the last name too. But anyway, so not that I feel. I mean, I hope you don't feel bad that I don't remember the moment. I mean, I could look back at my diary.
I don't remember, but I remember some awkward moments that we had later on. But
Can we get into the music now? It's getting a little boring.
Yes.
Thank you.
So where were we at?
I wanted a few more things to get off my chest about you two.
Later. Put a bookmark in that. We'll put a pin in that. That's what we call. That's what they call.
We'll
that.
circle back around.
We'll circle back. One thing I do want to talk about musically, I have two corrections to make. From not corrections, clarification and a correction. Clarification is when I was talking about the B-52's self-titled album and I called it their eponymous. I didn't realize that eponymous actually means self-titled. So, look at Mark, big boy, drinking Coors Light. Tough guy.
So are you, you
Shotgun.
bastard.
He's shotgunning this thing. Oh, it's all over his shirt. It's a madness. So, eponymous means self-titled. We didn't know that. Now we know that. The other thing is that we got real philosophical at the end, and we talked about self-fulfilling prophecy, and we also talked about somehow Manifest Destiny came up, and I completely butchered Manifest Destiny. So for the educational standpoint tonight, I'm going to read what Manifest Destiny means.
Can I clarify? You brought this up and tried to educate me on both of those, and
Check the tape. You brought up Manifest Destiny.
no, on the podcast, but I'm talking about at Nudes. I was saying something that this is gonna, and you said, "Oh, no, don't do that."
Because self-fulfilling prophecies are usually bad.
Yes.
But it really what it
Do you
comes
remember
down
that
to,
conversation now?
sort of. I'll give you another one of those. I will deflect a little bit. So here's what Manifest Destiny is. So for all who didn't know, I'm reading this off of.
I just want to say he's correcting himself.
Okay. It says here on my phone, so it's got to be true. Manifest Destiny. There it is. Good. We had to get one we should call it a smoker's laugh, or maybe a miner's laugh.
No, I tried to take a drink and I poured it down my shirt.
Okay, there. It's not that kind of party. There, okay. Just keep that shirt. Hey, no, keep your shirt on. No, we're not interested. Oh, what is it? A tattoo? What is that? Is that a baboon fishing for a penguin? What the hell?
Okay, finish your thing.
Manifest Destiny, a phrase coined in 1845, is the idea.
Good year.
Totally. I think that's when Pet Sounds came out.
Yeah.
It is the idea that the United States is destined by God, its advocates believe, to expand its dominion and spread democracy and capitalism across the entire North American continent. That's what Manifest Destiny means. I like my version way better. But
oh, I didn't know it was that specific. I actually thought it was like you.
no, I led you astray there, Pally. I really feel bad for that because I know how impressionable you are.
It's very political.
So let's go to any other corrections you had from last week, other than we're going to get into the top 5 records, and there's corrections galore there. But anything else? Any other housekeeping?
Not that I can remember, but I do have the one big glaring thing on the albums.
I have one other one. I said that I would, on the last episode, that I would steal away to the
chance.
yes. I said I'm going to go steal away to listen to the thing on the other set of headphones, and I realized that there is a song called "Steal Away" by Robbie Dupree, and I'm like, that's a song, isn't it? Sorry, that will get picked up on the microphones and all. Anyway,
I'll fix another thing.
so now you talk the record thing. I've been talking the whole time.
I'm just waiting for you to take a breath.
I'm going to take a shower. Here, I'll be back in a sec. Go ahead.
No, but I mentioned last time that we were doing bands we grew up with, and I said the Grateful Dead, but I didn't get into them till later on in college. But my first pick, I'll keep everything else, but it'll be Supertramp, Pink Floyd, Joe Walsh, Aerosmith, Tommy Bolin.
The premise was, I'll help my friend Mark here. Premise was top 5. This was recommended by listener JT.
That's me.
And yeah, he's right here. So if I mess it up, please correct me. But he said, give us your top 5 bands. And then we took liberties on that and said top 5 bands is very general for especially a guy who's 60.
That's true.
Of course, he was 59 at the time. So, you know.
With the afro.
Oh, I guess it was a very nice one. You know, Jim, when you give me signals, I thought you were saying I was being too slow, not more to explain.
I didn't know what that. I think I might have just had an itch. But anyhow, so the premise is that top 5 bands.
If you flip me off, that's an itch.
And Mark, yeah, that means I got something in my eye and the other eye too. So the premise was top 5 bands, favorite bands. We said top 5 growing up, and then you had Grateful Dead at the top of your list. You decided that you would change that to Supertramp instead of Grateful Dead, and then the other ones were
Pink Floyd, Joe Walsh, Aerosmith, early Aerosmith, because Pump I did not like.
Turns out it was Permanent Vacation and then Pump, but you didn't like
both
either
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got a thumbs up from Jason on that.
Okay.
And then Tommy Bolin, which most people don't know, but
That's good.
That's our neighbor's brother.
Oh.
and now I got to edit that out.
No, I don't think so. I think you're fine. You're
But
okay.
Go ahead.
It's not going to matter.
People aren't going to be listening. I had,
good.
My correction.
Make my job harder.
My correction is I like that one band. I want to say one of our neighbors' last names right now, but I can't. That's the laugh I was saying. It is turkey season, and we got one right here in the yard. So, all right, good. This is already better. 'Cause we got one smoker laugh, and we got the turkey laugh.
The anonymity thing is just never going to happen here.
I think we
Not
pulled
with
it
you.
off. I think we're going to be
I don't know.
fine. I got close. It's called Life on the Tightrope. No, anyway.
Yeah.
So the one I want to switch out is Dire Straits. The ones I had were Rush, and then Van Halen, and then I had Styx, Dire Straits, and Ted Nugent. So I got like three really suspect ones, but Dire Straits I really didn't like until way after, like probably 10 years ago. I started really liking Dire Straits, but I mocked a good friend of mine and my college roommate for the Dire Straits stuff. So I think I got to swap out Dire Straits and put Journey in there because I listened to a lot of Journey, and Journey was like pre-Steve Perry as the only singer. Journey was really good. Greg Rowley, I think, was the guitarist name.
Good ad. Okay.
Oh, wow!
Now, Jason, who is younger than both the Jim and I.
Not by much.
Really? 4 years?
Two. He's 2 years younger than me.
Yeah.
3. Do the math, Mark. 3 for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the same genre.
But you said that your tastes have changed. I don't want to hear that.
No, absolutely.
Well,
Even
absolutely.
before that, being that small a difference, your tastes are totally growing up different than Jim and I.
Yeah, so I graduated in '84, so I was a huge hair metal guy, back in the day. And then when I went to college, that shifted. So I got into more the speed metal stuff, which is.
Did you hang out with the speed metal guys, or was that just something you would do on your own?
No, I think I introduced it to the fraternity that I was in, because I got into Metallica, I got into Korn, I got into Megadeth, I got into all the speed metal bands at that time, and I don't think, it was just like off their radar.
But I'm hoping to make myself sound younger, I guess. I don't know how that works.
Yeah,
but I don't think.
Don't worry, the tank top is a dead giveaway. You're trying to look younger. Anyhow, no offense.
No offense. Yeah, none taken.
Go ahead.
Anyways, I didn't think that the hair metal was between like 81 and 84.
Well, this would have been
I can't even remember bands from 81 to 84.
After 84. Oh wait, 81. That's when.
But he graduated in 84, so growing up, you would be listening to.
Would you?
Oh, it was Van Halen and it was AC/DC.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay, so it was
he
kind of
growing up.
But I mean, when I
think Crocus
Van Halen
Crocus was back about 80, wasn't it?
could be. I don't know, because I wasn't into Crocus when they first came out, but
Screaming in the night.
I would say, I was into Kiss huge when I was in elementary school.
Kiss.
That was just, they blew my mind, right? Then
you don't have to stay.
Oh,
no, but
Sorry.
I was in 5th grade. What did I know?
I listened to Kiss in about 7th grade. Kiss Alive had just come out, and it was fantastic.
No, it was what it was, right? But
Right. We covered that earlier. That I'm not.
Mark, when you were in 7th grade, it was more like Benny Goodman and
yeah,
Sinatra.
Do I need to pull out my Glenn Miller album?
Art Garfunkel, yeah.
I do have a Glenn Miller album.
I think it was Art Garfunkel Sr. too. I think it wasn't even the young one.
Yeah, but no, my musical preference is like all over the place.
When did you start playing drums? Was that your first instrument you played?
Yeah, I started playing, I think I was in 7th grade, and the reason I did is because there was
Get the chicks.
a family in our neighborhood. There was 5 kids in this family, and they were in a band, and they were good.
Were they called the Osmonds?
I don't know what the hell they were called.
Hanson.
But no, it was very impressionable for me at that
In case you get
time.
thirsty.
And I'm like, shit, you know? And the drummer was fabulous. And I'm like, I didn't think about playing the drums then. I wanted to play guitar. So my dad and mom bought me a guitar for Christmas when I was in 5th grade.
Wow.
And my sister, who was in 2nd grade at the time, they bought her a drum set.
Oh, this is like Van Halen.
Yeah, so I took guitar lessons, and I sat in a fucking. Sorry, I know you don't like to swear in your podcast.
Well, we don't
but
swear much, but
I sat.
This was very impressionable to you.
I sat in a 10 by 10 room taking guitar lessons with this dude that smoked.
oh yeah, was it look just totally fogged out?
It was like, read the music. I can't see it.
I couldn't even breathe, let alone see. And I told my mom, I said, "Mom, I can't go back." She's like, "You're going back." So I went back one more time, and I came home. I said, "Mom, I'm not going. I'm not going."
Did you come back or?
Yeah, no, I have emphysema now, Mom. Are you happy? And so I set the guitar aside because I sucked. I mean, I used to memorize a song because I couldn't read music. And they got the metronome going. That dude had to slow that metronome down so slowly that you couldn't even hear what frickin' song I was playing. So I set that aside, and then I just started playing my sister's drums, and then it just kind of built from there.
That's so. I put both of my kids in guitar lessons, and now this is, of course, years later when there was a thing called YouTube and tabs, guitar tabs. Was that a thing?
Right.
Well, so the oldest just lost interest pretty much right away, but the youngest, he really wanted lessons because his teacher was really good. He was like kind of classically trained, but he could play Crazy Train too, right? He would say, "Tell me a song you want to learn," and then we'll kind of use that as like the root of.
Right.
And then he would play the intro to Crazy Train at the end of the that part. There's some just wicked technique shit that is like, well, you're never going to learn this. But anyway, but
talking about great guitarist, Randy Rhoads.
That's what they say. But there are people that there is the same amount of people that think he's a genius, think he's a terrible tone. He has detractors. Anyway, I was a fan. I thought, and Ozzy was obviously
like he's a good pilot, but not a good pilot.
What are we talking about here?
Randy Rhoads.
He wasn't flying the plane though.
I think the pilot gave him control.
Oh no, that's terrible. That's not good at all.
No.
Anyway, the hell was I just talking about? Yeah. So the kid, my youngest, who is now still a musician, he would want to go back for lessons, but it's like, okay, did you practice the? He's like, no. So it was the most awkward shit. You'd have to sit there and listen to the teacher reteach him stuff, and I think the teacher maybe because he was kind of a new teacher, like he just out of college and kind of freelancing with it. I think he could have probably just said, okay, well, what do you got? What are you playing? And kind of help him with that or whatever. But I finally said, Audie, I have to, I go, we're gonna take a beat on these lessons, and you keep doing your thing, learning shit on YouTube and stuff like that. So anyway, but I think it's interesting that, or Jason talked about, like, the drums were, because I think in the Van Halen household that
they switched.
Alex got a guitar, and
right.
Eddie got the drums,
right.
And Eddie would like get home from school early so he could play the guitar before Alex got there or something. So I thought that was, that's cool. Thank you for sharing, Jason. Thanks for your bravery.
Well, I don't know how brave that was.
Did you touch my drum set?
I didn't touch your drum. I was watching Cops. You got that movie or no? Step Brothers?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. All right. What else do we have? I have nothing else. What the fuck does that say?
Well, we're at
the parachute guy. We talk about the lawns yet? In the parachute? Well, that was a long time ago, didn't it? Whoops, a daisy. All right. Well, what do we got? Well, how much time we on?
40 minutes, so we could do something real quick.
We're 40? Really?
Yeah, we are.
That was so fast.
That did go.
I'll tell you right now. I'm glad that Jason came on. I tell you what, I am, like I said before, you can't pick your neighbors, so you just luck out if you get ones that you like. And I like Jason. I like Mark. I like everyone that lives around me. And I wish that everybody else that's listening to this, if you don't like your neighbor, go try to find something you have in common with them. Give them a compliment. Put yourself out there and just try a little bit. But if they ask you to borrow a 10 millimeter socket, tell them to go fuck themselves, because you're never going to see that thing again.
That's right, and then move.
Well, be careful. Be careful on your compliments also.
How's that?
Well, you don't want to go up and say, like, your wife is hot.
Your wife.
Or something like that. Cause it might be bad.
That's not good.
So.
Wow.
You just got to.
Awkward.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That it's something not to do. This is like your PSA.
Is this hypothetical? You don't remember when I said that to you? No.
No, I said to Chris, your husband's hot, but
I know.
Oh, look at I did.
You said you told Chris your guy is hot, and she was like, oh, and then she realized you were talking about me. She's like, quit fucking with me.
And, you know, to think it back, and now I got to edit that twice. 3 times.
No, that's fine. She's fine. I don't think anyone gives a shit. I'm not using her last name or maiden name. You have my permission to use her name.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you have hers, but that's okay. She doesn't listen to this shit anyway.
Hey, thanks for inviting me to join you tonight.
Yeah,
sure, it was fun.
Thanks for coming on.
I've enjoyed listening to you guys grow, in this podcast,
Milieu?
Well, venue or whatever the hell you call it, but I mean, it's fun. I mean, it's like I told you last week. It's like I get to hang out with you, and not have to, provide any beer when I listen to the podcast.
And you can laugh at us in person instead.
No, he's talking about what the podcast provides when he listens to it. I think, yes?
Yeah.
Because
I don't have to kick you out of my family room, and I don't have to give you beer.
We got kicked out of his house, but truth be told, he served us all the beer he was trying to get rid of. So
he dropped one.
We served a purpose. I dropped one on the way out of your house.
Yeah. It's so funny because
you better check your drain spot, because I think it was flattened on that one.
Like through the years, Jim would come over and hang out in my family room, and then he would leave when I passed out on the couch.
I don't remember. I hung out.
Well, it's because
lot with you.
You get up at like 4 a.m. So for you to pass out on the couch, that could be at 9 o'clock.
Well, that's not.
That's okay. Hey, the world needs. What's the opposite of ditch digger? Bankers too. So anyway,
I did enjoy hanging out on your deck and watching the Twins games. That was even back then, though, it was over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That was an awesome setup.
Yeah, we can still do that, because I'm planning on adding that feature to my current deck.
Right. You had the pop-up TV back in the 2002 or something.
Was that water sealed and everything?
Yeah, it was out around the hot tub. But now I'm going to get a TV, and it's just going to sit. I mean, you know how it is. You got those stupid smart TVs with the little dealios. What do they call them? Plug them in. What the hell do they call them?
Blue.
Fire sticks.
Yes.
Antenna?
Shit. One too many beers because of...
I'll tell you right now, I just got to say this. I can't wait till the next podcast. Whenever I hear the word digital, all I can think of is when I get a physical. And I don't really think that's a good thing.
I don't get it.
He's thinking of a prostate exam.
Yes.
Oh.
Again, we got to wrap this up because I'm starting to think like Jim again, and it's scaring me.
All right. Well,
I know exactly what you were talking about.
Jason, thanks. We'll do this again, and it'll be every time we do it, it'll be a little more effervescent.
Yeah. Hey, it gets better each week.
Right on.
That's the way it works.
Thanks. Hey, TheAscertainers at gmail.com. If you got any suggestions or sponsor, if you want to sponsor us, just pop on there, name your price, and we'll tell Newts that, and they'll raise it.
And
Hopefully more than a sample beer.
yes. And let us know if you want to drop in and be on mic.
No way, man. Cool. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.